years of doing this, what do you guys do for inspiration when you're coming up with new song ideas? I mean, do you try and look at politics and world stuff, or are you still going toward, more of, I don't know, historical perspective, or just talking about rock and roll, denim and leather, and having a good time?
No, I mean, generally that sort of thing comes from Biff because he writes the lyrics,
right?
So he might come up with a title or something, or we all sort of get into sort of watching different movies and reading different books. So something might inspire, something Biff might have read might have inspired him. Sort of think, oh yeah, I think we should do a song about that.
Right.
But it depends which comes first. Sometimes he'll come up with a title, and then we'll write something to it. Or another time, we'll write some music and give it to him, and that inspires him to think, oh, that would go with an idea I've had title-wise.
Right.
So there's no sort of set way.
Yeah.
But we don't generally look at politics. We say, from a personal point of view, I think bands should stay out of it.
And there's a lot of bands who go the political route, and that's kind of their shtick. But there's no winners or losers with that, right?
But it can get a bit nasty as well.
Sure. And you have to imagine, the folks across the pond in Britain must look at the United States with our current political system and just go like, what's going on? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's happening everywhere. Quite honest with you.
Yeah, there's plenty of topics to write about, but there's no winners on either side.
No.
So, being a drummer and being a drummer for a metal band and playing as aggressively as you play night after night, what type of regimen do you do, Nigel, that keeps you in fit and in check? Because seriously, it beats the crap out of people. I meet so many drummers that, after a while, they're just like, they're in a wheelchair, for Christ's sake. What do you do? What's your regimen?
I'm all right so far.
Yoga, right?
I don't really do anything, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I like swimming. I like going for long walks, and I'm talking about like walking fast, not like ambling. We've got a dog at home, so
that's cool.
Every morning it's like, right, come on, and there's this big steep hill, and I try and go up it as fast as I can every time. The dog's like, but it's just stuff like that, and I think the thing really is, well, for me, is don't burn the candle at both ends.
Right.
So, I mean, on this tour, we've been going for about 5.5, 6 weeks, something like that. I try and get as much sleep as I can.
Yeah.
Right, even if there's 2 hours before we play, right, I'm going to have a nap.
Sleep is imperative.
Oh, God, yeah.
What's your favorite city to play here in the U.S.?
Oh, I mean, San Antonio is a great place for us. It always has been. There's so many places that are great. I couldn't really name one because it's sort of going against other cities.
Sure.
We enjoy them all. Honestly, there's no bull.
Playing crowds here in the States, the listenership, the audience, the fan base can be relatively finicky.
Yeah.
If you look back to 1986 compared to 2018, how have things changed? And that goes to technology as well, as far as people are sharing music and this, that, and the other. Is it better? Is it worse?
I think, in some ways it's better, in other ways it's worse. I think from the industry point of view, for bands signing to record companies, I think it's worse now. Maybe not so much in the metal thing, but in general. Back then, sort of in the 70s and stuff, a record company would sign you, say, for maybe 4 albums. Right. And they'd be there and they'd nurture you. They'd come down the studio while you were writing. Mm-hmm. They'd come in the studio while you were recording. They'd suggest producers for you. They would nurture you, basically.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, particularly in the pop world, you see some of these people on these reality TV shows. They get signed up, they release an album, it bombs, bye, next. It's a tax loss.
Yeah.
So that's the difference there, I think. I think social media's been great because more and more people are on social media, so you can find out about these bands. A great thing I find is, for instance, with Amazon. If I go onto Amazon to listen to something, so I'm interested in a band, they go, well, you like that, you might like this, and I've found so much stuff.
The recommendations, the music discovery, it's cool.
Yeah, it's great, and I've found a lot of bands that I haven't even never heard of.
Speaking of, for me being a radio guy and being in the rock industry as a profession, as a job, when I'm at home and I'm unplugged, I'm listening to some folk music. I listen to you know, a little bit of hip hop here and there.
Yeah.
It's completely different from the
Oh,
work lifestyle.
totally.
What are you into when you're out on the road, when you're discovering new music? What's turning you on right now?
I mean, all sorts of it. I mean, there's a great Swedish band. I mean, they're not a heavy rock band at all. They're sort of, I suppose you call them a bit more progressive, called Moon Safari.
Moon Safari.
And they are they are brilliant. I mean, they're all brilliant musicians. They all sing, and their harmonies are just out of this world. I mean, you think the Beach Boys harmonies are great. Using these guys,
That's
they're
cool.
unbelievable. Then I listen to another favourite of mine is Ever Grey. This band from Sweden.
Okay.
Clutch, I love.
Clutch played here at Las Rageous last night for another Dynamite
I
show.
was really pissed off. I missed that one.
You guys weren't in town early enough.
No, I know, because I went and saw them just before Christmas. I think it was in San Antonio. Went down there, met the guys after, and everything. It was great.
When you look back at the history of Saxon, was there a record that you were part of, Nigel, that you went, whoa, we captured something really magic right here? If you had to pinpoint, maybe like your favorite album in the history of the Saxon catalog. I mean, they're all your kids, right? So it's kind of tough to be subjective like that.
There's certain albums that have, you know, there's certain sort of memories for it. For instance, I mean, Pound the Glory was my first studio album.
Okay.
So I felt I had to prove myself to the Pete Gill fans.
Yeah.
So that was an important album for me, and I was involved in the writing. So it was, you know, that was important to get over. Each album's got its own little sort of thing, you know, its own little bubble.
Right.
So
if you're going to give a shout out to your favorite contemporary drummer out there right now, who would that be?
Oh, jeez, no, probably Simon Phillips.
Simon Phillips, okay, yeah, good call on that, good call. Okay, one final question. I know you guys have got a lot of press that you're doing, but to wrap things up, playing in the small club setting or playing a big stage like Las Rageous here where there's going to be 30,000 people out in the audience, do you have a personal preference that you enjoy more?
Sometimes, if you're a headliner, it's great because you can get to have a sound check and all that stuff. Sometimes at a festival, you're going on a bit blind. But no, they're all great experiences to see all these people. I mean, for instance, you know, we play at Wacken and we might have 75, 80,000 people there.
Yeah.
And that's it. Oh, obviously they haven't all come to see us, but that's because it's a big 3-day festival. But it's great to see these sea of people, and then when they really get going and join in with stuff, it's great.
Right.
I sometimes find a smaller one a bit more intimidating because the people are up there, you know.
Yeah,
and
you screw something up, and they're right there. They can see everything.
Exactly.
You screwed up once. If you repeat it, then it was done on purpose. But you screwed up once. Anyways, a pleasure to see you again, man. For all these years you've been doing this, and I just really appreciate the fact that, you know, here at 47 years old, I can still come out and see a Saxon show like I did when I was 21, man.
Right.
It's just a blast, and I'm glad you guys are still doing it. Haven't seen Biff Byford today, but please pass along my best. There's been lots of tequilas and Goldschlagers, and maybe sometime later on. I mean, for somebody who still today hits every single note and nails it and then some, Biff is a madman.
I have to say, actually, I think his voice is improving with age.
I would agree. Just the video stuff I've seen.
It's getting a rasp on it as he gets older, but he can still hit those notes, so it's great.
It's Nigel from Saxon, and this is Kilpop.